Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And yeah, it's a little bit late on a Friday night, but hey, there's nothing going on, even though we're supposedly reopening America. And as always, with the Ask Me Anythings, I'm going to go in order, get your questions in now because I do some news stories beforehand. And I normally say, hey, let's do the super chat, but YouTube has completely 110% demonetized me. So before we get into the lies of the World Health Organization, Faustian Fauci, and if you don't know what a Faustian bargain is, it's basically when you sell your soul to the devil for knowledge. Old Faust or Fauci. Okay? Because, the meat and potatoes in this is that there is a narrative going around now that this is from a lab in China, in a Wuhan lab, but there are varying degrees of whether it is natural or biological. And they asked Fauci today, I should say tonight rather, at this press conference for the coronavirus task force, and he outright denied it. He said there'll be a new paper coming out proving that it is, in fact, a natural virus. So remember to thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. And if you can, financially support me. Again, can't make money on this platform anymore. Persona non grata on YouTube. Who knows if I'll have a channel much longer with the amount of censorship that is out there. Okay, so let's start talking the Fauchster. Old Fauciness. This is an establishment CDC hack that has towed the line every single time and is promoting what as a solution? A vaccine. He's fear-mongered throughout. Okay? Tony Fauci wants you to live in a society where he doesn't think we should be shaking hands anymore. And I know this confuses a lot of people. There's a lot of confusion with where my positions lie. I don't want a lockdown. I want honesty. I want real medical treatment for what is a real virus and a real outbreak. All these people that are saying that they're admitting that they've inflated the numbers, you have not done your research. I'm sorry. You don't understand what you're talking about. In fact, when you really look at this thing, if you want to get ugly with it, and believe me, it is ugly, the numbers are deflated, guys. I hate to tell you that. Again, that doesn't mean that I'm for a lockdown. Okay? You have to understand, a lot of these people that you think were counted overboard, no, there are a lot of people that said they died of natural causes and not this. So let's get into that aspect of it. Clearly, the aspects of this being a bioweapon are now overwhelming. No matter what Tony Fauci and his establishment mouthpiece piece of shit organization, the CDC says. I want to remind everybody who sat here and watched me, and we're going to do one more video. I promise I'm going to get to it. In Event 201, when the CDC in China and the CDC of the United States sat there with former people of the National Security Council, Johnson and Johnson, right? NBC Universal, and propagated all this and said that if you dared question whether or not this was a natural virus and that it was released on purpose, they would censor you. All right? I'm not making that up. And when I say a virus, their novel coronavirus. All right? So why should you ever trust a guy like Fauci? Okay, but trust me, that the virus aspect of this is not a hoax. Okay? In fact, the thing I want to show people is the video I did earlier today. Luc Montagnier, he's a 2008 Nobel Prize winner. He's one of the people that discovered HIV. All right? He's clearly saying this is a bioweapon, that this is actually a manufactured virus. Now, why is that important? And remember, get your questions in now. We're gonna take your questions in the chat all the way down. If you want to support me, again, the GoFundMe is in the comments. If I'm watching something like Tucker Carlson now the intelligence community, who we should not trust, by the way. Okay, I kept telling you there will be warnings that come out of lower level analysts would have been honest. But overall, the narratives these people create, just like the intelligence community told us that Russia hacked the elections. Well, a lot of people believe that, but anybody that scratched the surface realizes that's not true. Okay? That's a narrative. And now we have this narrative that's coming out that it is from the Wuhan lab. Now, somebody like Tucker Carlson, he's dipping his toe a bit into the bioweapon aspect of that. And because of that Epic Times documentary, the CCP virus, there's a lot of that. But all that obfuscates the fact that biowarfare is real, that we don't necessarily know that it came from the laboratory in Wuhan. And that narrative is also being pushed and pulled back by someone like Sean Hannity. What do I mean? Well, he's pushing the Wuhan and the lab part of it, but it's a natural virus that they were actually so they hadn't manufactured it. It was a real virus, and then it escaped the lab and somehow went from an animal to human transmission. The animal to human transmission aspect of this is probably the most fantastical of all, especially when you look at, again, how it is selective, how it does not go after children, how it goes after those pre-existing conditions. That's a reality, but you can still get healthy and get it. And again, the studies are coming out that it's massively spread. So a lot more people have probably had it and not known about it. I said that from the beginning, that I didn't think it was actually lethal. And to get away from the fear aspect of it is to have the right treatments. Okay? But when you do get it bad and you do survive, what do they say? That you could have a cystic-like fibrosis reaction and have irreversible lung damage. And they say SARS and AIDS. And remember, when the Nobel Prize winner is talking about it, okay, and he's talking about the HIV receptor, and it had to be the HIV sequence. Look, I'll read it right from the horse's mouth, because it gets challenged by the guy who's interviewing him. He inferred that the coronavirus under investigation may have come from a patient who was otherwise infected with HIV, because there was some kind of an HIV receptor in this thing, like I keep saying. He says, no. In order to insert an HIV sequence into this genome, molecular tools are needed, and that can only be done in a laboratory. Now, interestingly enough, this professor is also pushing that narrative. Wuhan is that laboratory. But remember, the only reason that this pushback is there is that China was saying that it was a bioweapon, and so was Iran from the United States that was unleashed on them, okay? So no matter where we're at, this is where we're at. And here's the thing. We're still under martial law, okay? It's still happening right now. COG is still in effect. No matter what they're telling you on reopening, et cetera, et cetera. I want out of New York after this, okay? I want out. I think this is far from over, and far from over from my state. I don't think we've seen the economic repercussions of this. Again, the antivirals are now being tested. I have always encouraged the vitamin C, the steroids, any of these treatments that are out there. In my county alone, they have 3 treatments going, 3 new antivirals. Okay? The fear that this has induced, and then on the opposite end of this, the denial that this has happened, has been tremendous. But what you can't deny is that, once again, the COG plans have been there for some time. They are currently activated. Check out Jeep, Atlas, Octagon, Freejack, and Zodiac. Those are all COG plans if shiz hits the fizz. And I think it's important to check that out. Once again, I'm encouraging people to actually do their own statistics so they can figure out that, yeah, a lot of people are dying in New York, and that it's not made up. And that when I hear that people think that they're not counting heart attacks as heart attacks anymore, or like any other disease, or the flu, or pneumonia from the flu, guys, there's 4,000 deaths a year from pneumonia. Okay, come on now, come on, 7,000 from accidents. I mean, we could keep going. That is not what's happening. And with the economic aspect of this, remember the IMF, all these organizations, remember the World Bank is at Event 201, are already telling us about this economic collapse. We've printed money out of nowhere. We've already seen massive lines for food in major cities. Essential workers are making less than those on unemployment. That's a very important aspect of it. So, they're getting people ready to stay home more and more. Meanwhile, we're supposed to trust the WHO. Now let's get into their lies really quickly. And then we're going to go down the line, take your questions and comments. Remember, if you want to support me, I want to thank some people right now who have. Let's see. Catherine Bruce, thank you. DK Finn, thank you. And Tom Nolan, thank you, my friend. He's talking about ozone therapy, ultraviolet light blood therapy, H2O2 nebulizer, vitamin C, and much more as treatments. But we do know that the NO2, they've used that, nebulizers, etc. And the other thing is, people are in denial about the fact. They're like, we told you it wasn't going to be as bad as you said. Guys, first of all, some of the things that are really, good about this, in the sense that information got out, is that they stopped using the ventilators as much, which were a death sentence. And, they did start using antivirals, et cetera, et cetera. People act like I flipped the switch. No, I read to you as soon as I got it that the nurse from Queens was saying, yes, it was going from every 15 minutes to 30 minutes. They were having an ICU call. All right. And now that was down to every couple of hours. And now remember, she told me, and I'm going to read some of it. Some of these people are getting IV steroids like methylprednisolone, and some don't. Some get inhalers, some don't. But there still are a massive amount of people that are on those ventilators from before. And hopefully, again, the antiviral treatments are going to bring them out of there, and that 80% death rate on a ventilator is going to go under. But we don't know that. And again, because the WHO has been completely dishonest, no human-to-human transmission, they believed and parroted China's lies about how many people died there. Remember, China doubled their death count just today. And that's very small. They doubled their death count just today. Do you really believe the numbers out of there? And at the same time, I don't like the anti-China propaganda that somehow it's their fault and it originated from a lab there, unless you can prove it to me. I think that's a bad narrative. And, another one of those things from the WHO is, they're trying to make the point they don't want bars to go back to the way they were. Bars are supposed to have now extra standing capacity. So what's that mean? Their mass capacity are going to go away? Bars are places where people go to be very close to one another, to meet new people. And again, the drinking alcohol could make the coronavirus worse. Well, I'm sure drinking massively could do that as well, just like eating massively. Okay, because obesity seems to be the largest chronic factor out there. All right, we're going to go to your questions and comments. But again, because things like that Dr. Siddell, who didn't really go viral, but the New York Times started covering. And, again, that's in New York City. It's prominent. I think lives have been saved in that regard, and those are positive things. So I'm on Minds. I'm on Rockfin, exclusive content. You just sign up for free. Tuesday at noon, we stream live there. Again, the numbers are being underplayed. I want to put that out there. But follow me on Twitter for my entire news feed. Thumbs this up, subscribe. And again, the GoFundMe is how you can actually financially support me. All right, let's do it. What's up, Alyssa? What's up, Drew? What's up, Amanda? I appreciate it. I love you. What's up, Scott? What up, Burmese Brigade? Hope everyone is well. Hey, Drew. Yes. Hey. Hey there, Drew. Wuhan was just publicly doubled the number of reports. Great to see you, Jason. Yes, exactly. They just publicly doubled them. And again, this plays into like the Hannity-esque narrative. Well, it's not a bioweapon, but it came from a lab in China, and it came from an animal transmission. But they knew it was deadly, but they didn't tell us. Guys, it seems like there are different strains of this. Again, I don't know what the immunity factor is going to be. For those that didn't watch my broadcast from earlier today, remember when I told you my cousin had tested negative, and then they contacted her again and wanted her to test again. Now she's tested positive, and she doesn't feel sick, whereas a few weeks ago she felt like she was going to die. She never felt like that in her life, and they told her she had pneumonia. There's a lot of things not to believe, but to believe that people haven't died en masse and that that the virus itself is not real is just, I'm sorry, it's not real. Like, that's not a real position at this point. If you're doing any sorts of honest research. Fauci equals Fauci, bad energy. Hey there, Drew. Don't fearmonger. The gig is up. What gig is up, Jerry? What gig is up? Have you not grown up and realized that this is real and this is a bioweapon released on people? And that if you happen to be in an area where your loved ones were affected, you would know this? Okay? And that massive amounts of people did die and are dying in nursing homes. That Kirkland was a mess in Washington. That they have played those numbers down. Down. Ay, ay, ay. More on bioweapon angle, please. William, again, look at, and from the Lancet study that was out there earlier, from not only this Nobel Prize winner, but he discussed about how Indian papers, papers out of India, basically were suppressed because of the mainstream. He says the truth will eventually come out. And again, the thing is that I agree with him about the laboratory, but him saying it's definitely the Chinese laboratory, I disagree with. Although, think about how many different bioweapons departments have worked on coronaviruses since it's just a cold virus and it's been around forever. And this is SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19, as in they found it in 2019. That's all that means. All right? And, if you want to go back to that, everybody goes, well, what about the Harvard professor? And I'm like, yeah, what about the Harvard professor and how that was a larger dragnet of not only Harvard, but Yale, and not only China, but Saudi Arabia. And that's kind of been scrubbed. But you know what? We do it live. We do it live. Here it is right here. So, that's the thing. We create these. February 12th, U.S. investigating Harvard, Yale over alleged China, Saudi Arabia secret funding. Bum, bum, bum. But all that stuff, it goes by the wayside. All right? Goes by the wayside. Let's see. No, they're not. No, I don't think they're hiking up the numbers artificially. Blaming other causes of mortality on COVID, it seems like there are more deaths. Do you think they are hiking? No. I think they've actually put the numbers down. And that's the other thing. People don't understand how a death certificate works. I've gone over it. I've showed you that they put it on hold, that actually out of the gates beforehand, before they could test them, they were putting them down as non-COVID. And then those things were always separated, okay? Always. It's not normal to pick up dead bodies from homes in Enterprise rent-a-cars, okay, with the National Guard. Not normal. I have also been completely demonetized. Really, Scott? That sucks. I mean, it's awful. It's unbelievable. Stand strong, my brother, Jason Burmas. Thank you, Sailor. Hey, Drew. He needs to be fired. I agree. The CDC is not a reputable organization. Okay? They're not. They're like a for-profit, in bed with globalists organization. Why else would somebody like George Gao of the CDC be able to propagate the numbers he has with his establishment and sit up there at Event 201 and everybody smiles and the WHO back them? And that's another thing that encourages, the not let it happen on purpose, but it happened by accident and it wasn't a bioweapon narrative that Hannity is pushing. Because China is bad and they do lie. And they did make this up. And the WHO is bad and they do lie and they did back that up. So that's like his little piece of the truth that gets his sycophants going. Hey, Amanda, Earth's flat. And viruses we think we know do not exist. She was hopium for the people who can't believe people can be as bad as some are and feel powerless to do anything themselves. I'll give you the Q part, Aaron. I mean, Q is nothing but hopium and ridiculous. I mean, they change the narrative all the time. Remember when Tom Hanks was in prison last month, but now he's hosting SNL? Probably from Guantanamo Bay. And that's another thing. Tom Hanks didn't seem to have any of the symptoms out there, right? None. But his wife said she had a horrible go of it, and then like bashed the hydroxychloroquine. But as far as I know, she was never on a ventilator. That's all I'm saying. Proof the virus is not real. Wait, where's that proof? Prove it is. Can we buy Burmese gear yet? I got to get on that. I mean, it's hard because it's not like they're going to let me imprint it into YouTube. Right on, Jay. Thanks, Sailor. Shout out to Burmese, Corbett, and Bros for keeping it real. Having Bros on next week. Looking forward to some Bros action. I think a Tuesday. Dr. Faustus. I do not consent. I will not sign my name in blood. Prove I do not have a unicorn up. What? Oh, did that just jump? That's just the jump scare? That was the jump scare right there, so it jumped. All right, let's try to go back to the top here. Oh, we are back. Bam. Let's see. Hey, Drew, don't fear bioweapon. We did that one. Vaccines. Proof the virus is not real. There we go. Prove I do not have a unicorns don't exist, Aaron. So that proof would be on you. The sequencing of the virus. Exactly. You can't prove anything when proving it to someone who doesn't want to see it's true. The Great Awakening map. Huge information for those who are verifiably retarded. There is no Great Awakening, bro. Anything that's valid that was put on that map, people had talked about years before. Anything. Epstein was exposed by guys like myself in 2009, 10, 11. Go look it up. You go use the Wayback Machine, buddy. All right? None of it was new. None of the real stuff. Okay? Even the pedogate stuff happened before Q is fake. Do you understand? All right? All of it. All of it. All of it. I have a film called Invisible Empire from 2010 where I talk about guys like Foley on the inside, where I talk about the pedo rings from Larry King and others. All right? There was nothing new there that was real except for lies and trusting a plan that's not there. You don't trust nonsense. My goodness. Fauci had a creepy Nazi vibe from the beginning, in my opinion. I agree, Amanda. He definitely does have that little stout. I'd look good in a hat look, a little authoritarian cap. By the way, thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. And remember, I hate pushing it as much as I do. But they demonetized me. So this is the only way I know how to push it. So go fund me, please. I'm begging you. I mean, not literally hands on my knees begging you. But, I mean, I don't know. After YouTube totally kicks me off, what do I do? I mean, then can I reach 46,000 people on a regular basis? Probably not. Probably not. And they've already shadow banned me so hard, it's pretty sad. What do you think about all right. So Scotty pimping. I reported on this before the New York Times. I mean, you know, this is a good one. Let's show this to people because I want to explain how this works. Okay? I want to explain how it works. It works not the way you think it does. Okay? Where's that? I'm going to have to bring up that Business Insider. And by the way, I'm still scrolling through here because it was all the way back on the 13th that I reported this. And it was actually the right thing to do. Here it is. Okay? For anyone who still believes the numbers are being artificial, it's actually the opposite of what you think. These were the people that were dying at home that had the symptoms but could not get the test or got the test and were awaiting the results. Okay? So those deaths, especially in New York and such, in fact, where's the Business Insider thing? If you want to actually go check it out, remember, about 140 people on average, okay, we're dying, 140, 145. On average, we're dying in New York City every day. That's a regular day. They were retrieving 280 bodies a day, almost twice that, and people were still dying in hospitals. Okay? Do you get it? Are you starting to understand? That like they weren't inflated, they just hadn't been tested yet. And when they said probable, those are separate still. They didn't just add them on. Again, that ends up being one of those fake like alt-right talking points. I don't even like talking about the alt-right, but like it's a fake talking point that I wish people would do their damn research on. And again, if you don't believe me on the death certificate things, I don't want to get a copyright strike. It's the only reason I'm not going to play it. But the video at the bottom here, or I'm going to basically take the audio off of it. It explains how it takes days for the death certificate to actually play out. All right? Just so you know, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. And the probable ones, they were just waiting for the post-mortem test. And no way are they just marking these people COVID positive and then saying they died of that when they didn't. Okay? That is a myth. Okay? Man. And then that bugs me. Oh. Fauci had patents on MMR vaccines and had many vaccine trauma and never paid. I don't know that for a fact, but it would not surprise me. The power of suggestion. People react like automatons. Dr. F is just a Keebler elf. Ha 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 ha. LOL. Okay, all right. Please don't spam it. I read them in order. I do think I've done the research. I don't have to think I've done. Okay. On unicorns? Don't trust the intelligence community. What's next, JB? Are you going to tell me not to trust the experts too? Yeah. It depends on what are experts at this point. Okay. Which experts am I supposed to believe? That Nobel Prize winner, or am I supposed to believe the WHO that is promoted by world government? And if I speak out against, YouTube demonetize me. I wonder which one it is. I always figured it was a bioweapon. But since they are pushing it on mainstream media, I'm kind of questioning it. Again, they're pulling back from bioweapon. They're saying it's coming from a bio lab, and it accidentally leaked. See, that way you can play the nation state game, China versus the U.S., instead of the predator class did this, and it's not a nation state. And it's a consolidation of power, and it's a takeover for globalism. Okay? It's a designer bioweapon, COVID-19, but there are two versions of the virus loose. Corona HSC14 and COVID-19. It does seem like there are now 3, I believe, different. Man, I wish I could find Cynthia McKinney's thing because I actually had that up too. Let's do it live. Thumbs the video up, guys. Thumbs are up. There it is right here. This is exactly what I wanted. As far as I know, this is pretty convincing here. This is from the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. See, it's not so much don't trust the experts, but go look at the raw paperwork yourself, right? And now they're saying an A, B, and C strain, not just one or two, but 3. And, where they seem to have originated. All right? And this is if it's a bat. Just saying. So anybody can check that out. I'll put that in the comments section so anyone can check out these separate strains here. All right. Let's continue on. Let's see. Listen, there's different tests. We've gone over the different testing and all that stuff, by the way, Mark. Why are military vehicles being rolled out across America? Exactly. I agree. Scotty, no need to spam. Jason, not reading the comments. Yes. Thank you, Drew. Drew's always taking care of it. Appreciate you, Drew. Take up your purse and your bag, and if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. Scotty Pimpin, how long have you been carrying that name? All the presumptions and assumptions has everyone starting off on a faulty framework of reasoning from the get-go. It's not, presumptions and assumptions, I didn't presume anything until you start looking at this and you see how children are being spared. And they're definitely contracting the virus. And you see how the reports keep coming out that this is ultra transmissible. And that probably a lot of us had it and didn't even know we had it. Or just were carriers for it, possibly. What does that? And then you have the HIV part of the structure inserted into the genome. Come on. I should get one of my old fraternity brothers on. If I could get Fez, he was all into this, biomolecular stuff. Man, I'd like to get him on. There has never been a working vaccine for any type of coronavirus before. Waiting for a vaccine is ridiculous. I agree, Joey. I just forgot to tag Jason. Wasn't sure if he would see it without tagging him. Oh, stole my damn number 2. What? Oh, you got hacked, Scott, maybe? CRISPR technology is how HIV got spliced in. Very possible. Why would anyone trust a vaccine that's pushed out this fast? This is so cringe, says Nate Cousins. Yeah, Nate, you don't like the Burmese Brigade? Sorry, buddy. Hate that you're watching my channel and you don't like it. Wish I could make you like it. I don't appreciate Scotty stealing my son's nickname. Johnny 5, good one. It's all good. He will do the AMA soon. Yes, I get in there. Why are okay, we did that, Dave. Come on. Have a beer, Canadian Truther. Good to see you. Or is that that looks like a double malt scotch or a bourbon on the rocks? Let's see. Matter of fact, there's never ever been testing of a coronavirus vaccine on humans. Yikes. Cheers, Canadian Truther. Donated to GoFundMe. Thanks, Canadian Truther. Appreciate it, brother. It's the magic number. Magic Johnson. Drop some of those Trump bucks or the Trudeau dollars. I guess for as long as it lasts, right? Because it does look to me like this is the restructuring of, the global market. But again, we'll see where we are in 2 weeks. Remember, my state's already been extended to lockdown through the 15th of next month. Let's see how this reopen the country works. Because what I don't think people are banking on is, okay, yeah, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but don't think that the powers that be wouldn't intentionally spread this in spots that reopen as hotspots to see, it didn't work. And what do you mean? What do you mean, Jason? How could they spread this intentionally? Well, there's plenty of patients out there right now. Just that alone. Just saying. Those are real possibilities. When we're talking about the real predator class and we're going outside of just even nation state espionage, that's a possibility. Throwing it out there. On the basis of a case of definition requiring a diagnosis of pneumonia, the currently reported case of fatality rate is approximately 2%. In another article in journal Guan NL report, 2% of if you get pneumonia, is 2%. I could see that. If able, they were doing gain of function research in Wuhan. Listen, no one's saying they weren't, William, but they've been doing that stuff all over the globe. All over the globe. Okay? And again, this idea that somehow an animal accidentally got out or it was a mishap or somebody was trying to, make money, etc., I don't buy it. Magic number to hell. Burn there for eternity, please. Yikes. Alex Jones and Francis Boyle were saying the biolab nightmare with HIV 3 months ago. They was right. You think that he was saying that 3 months ago? No. It's like a month ago, maybe a month or two ago. And as far as bioweapon, it's been talked about for a while. I like Francis Boyle. But again, Jones is pushing the Chinese narrative. Jason, I used to respect you, but you're just another fucking statist idiot. Unsubscribed. Scotchmanish. Okay? I don't know what you mean. I've never been an anarchist. Just so you know, Scotch. I've never been. That was a problem over at We Are Change sometimes for people that I actually believe in a constitution and a Bill of Rights and the whole thing, rule of law. I like a police force. Those are real things. Again, that doesn't mean I'm for a military-style lockdown. That doesn't mean I like being under COG right now. They're not mutually exclusive. George Webb Medical Research proves HIV components. What's happening, Burma's Brain? What up, Gritch? How you doing, brah? Scrotums. There is no test, nor will there ever be, that can test exclusively for COVID-19 in the field. It is impossible without a purpose-made testing facility. Anyone who says otherwise is lying. I don't know, Charles. Again, I went over some of those things with Dr. Shiva as well. Yeah, give him the old bye, Felicia Drufus. Mr. Shorty Keebler Elf was shape-shifting 3 days about when he was first. His tongue darted out while His left eye changed to lizard eye. He is a lizard. The lizard people. There are some really good ones out there now. Some really weird videos. I've seen like the news anchor one, and I've seen the one that's freaky is like there's this foreign Christian group that's in like a 6-hour live stream, and like out of nowhere her eyes turn into like craziness. But who knows? Maybe it's demon possession. I don't know. I have no clue. Scrotams. I still ain't wearing no damn face diaper. No, I got mine. Where is it? Oh, we got it right here. Oh, because you wouldn't believe it. People are freaking out already because now it's mandated in New York. So I've got it around my neck most of the time, but off of when I go out. Got it. Pure Michigan has some room for you, JB. It's the most beautiful state in the union. Pay no attention to how it looked in that vid I sent you. It was an off day. I've been out to Michigan. It is kind of nice. Marcus Cunty on YouTube thinks it's a hoax because he can't find any evidence when he films. Yeah, that's an insane person. That's an insane person. He hangs out with other insane people. I've seen him on other shows as an insane person. You got to understand not everybody is sane. And you know what? I didn't talk about Operation Gotham. Glad someone brought that up because that's not insane. So everybody knows this. And boy, I didn't even think about it. So Operation Gotham 2020 seems to be what the military operation in New York City is. You notice the Apple logo? I would love to see what the other side of the Apple logo is, but there is a lot of video out there of people wearing that, and the thing that people are associating with is there was an Operation Gotham 2017 exercise, and it was a nuclear exercise that people were worried it was going to be a false flag. So, if anybody has a clearer shot of these, they're popping up all over. There are video of them. And that is the military operation that's going on, at least in New York City. Again, we've talked about continuity of government again and again, martial law, and that reality that we are under it. You can call it soft or hard or whatever, but we are there, okay? And COG is activated. Operation Gotham is the military operation that's happening in New York City. If anybody can send me more information about Operation Gotham currently going on, I'd love to see it. All right, let's continue on. Let's see, there's Gritch. Chloroquine has saved so many lives, it's insane. And the media spent 3 straight weeks denying it even worked. No, listen, again, all for it if it works. All for it. That sounds harsh. No idea who your son is. I've had this name since I joined, Scotty Pimpin. In another article in the Journal of Guan, mortality of 1.4 among 1,099 patients with laboratory-confirmed COVID-19. These patients had a wide spectrum of disease severity, if one assumes. 1.4 would be really heavy. I think it's actually probably less than 1.4. You know, it probably is in that 0.3 to 0.7 range, but maybe it is 1.4. You just have to ask yourself, were they also testing asymptomatic people and saying, okay, well, this person has it? Because without testing all the asymptomatic people, I don't think we can get a real range on how lethal this thing really is. What they are doing is anyone who dies, no matter what no, they're not Sailor Spirit if they also test positive for the infection of COVID-19. Listen, you're not getting it. These people that have this are dying within days. That's real. That's real. That's real. So yeah, if somebody had a heart condition and they had this and they were sick for days and their body went into septic attack, like had sepsis and they had a heart attack, yeah, they counted as COVID-19. And they should. Okay? It's not the other way around, I promise you. At least not in New York. Again, please go watch the Business Insider video for yourself so you can start to get a grip on reality. Oh, let's see who's next. Ryan says, did you see the mainstream news reporting that there are reporting yes, we've gone, all right. I'll just skip them because you've all seen them, right? I've gone over it again. Book entry disease. Trump defunding the WHO was such a huge move. You would have seen you wouldn't have seen an establishment figure doing that. Listen, yeah, but at the same time, the WHO still has power over what I say on this platform. So he's not taking real action. And why is that? Because YouTube's a subsidiary of Google. Google's a subsidiary of what? Alphabet. Alphabet works with the National Security Agency and other intelligence networks. Google itself works with NASA on quantum computing. Okay, they're really part of this fascistic technopoly. That's why. Thanks, Ryan. Yes, I did do a whole video on it. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. For all those people who stand in the corner and say they will work for food, farmer feeds yourselves and others. Farming, yeah. Patient zero is from the Wuhan lab. That's never been proven. There is no patient zero. That is an assumption that is made in that documentary that is not real. That the number of asymptomatic or minimally symptomatic cases is several times as high as the number of reported cases. The case fatality rate may be considerably less than 1%. This suggests that I agree with everything you said up to that point, Clinton. Patient 1 was at the Wuhan. Again, you don't know that. Those filming hospitals to prove it's fake should be offered a visit to the ward the patients are on with no PPE. I mean, it's ridiculous. Brian, no. And Coinky Dink Johnny 5. He did that several times. His tongue kept on darting out of his mouth a lot, and his left eye literally turned into a lizard eye. His other right eye blurred out when I saw it. You sure it wasn't zoomed in, just ridiculousness? You sure Fauci's a lizard demon? This suggests the overall clinical consequence of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those with a severe seasonal influenza, which has a case. I think it's higher than the flu. Again, you wouldn't have people dropping dead at the rate. And the other thing is, maybe it's not higher than the flu, but it is, 5 times as infectious. Which, in essence, would mean it's 5 times as deadly, right? Because if it's going to affect 5 times as many people, and it's going to maintain a 0.1%, you're still going to have 5 times as many deaths if you catch it, Clinton. You catch what I'm throwing at you, brother? I appreciate that. It's an intelligent comment. Gentlemen, I love you too. Thank you. Pimpin'. What do you think about the death rates per 1 million? Sweden didn't do a lockdown. I'm not for the... See, this is not a mutually exclusive idea. I'm not for the lockdown. Okay? Not there. Belgium is 445. France is 286. UK is 215. Sweden is 139. Again, I'm going to have to look at the numbers in Sweden. But again, I don't know that the lockdown is doing much, if anything. I think it's treating this and giving people awareness and testing for it early. That's what you want. That's what you want. Let's see. Clinton Neal. Pandemic influenza, similar to those in 1957 and 1968, rather than a disease similar to SARS or MERS, which have a proven case fatality rate of 9 to 10% and 36% respectively. Sean, it's not the flu. Fauci. The underlying disease is SARS. It's the vehicle that delivers the HIV envelope that opens up inside the cell. Let's see. Sorry, Jason. It is a real bioweapon. Thanks, Liberty Howell. MSM is reporting today that the Chinese have revised their... Yes, we've gone over that. Let's see. There is no question that there will be a challenge. Yes, Fauci did predict some kind of infectious disease. That there is no question. Which is, again, Fauci's a bad character. He's a bad dude. Fauci makes me grouchy. Thanks, Bliss. Appreciate it. Tony R., you are wrong. Okay, Tony. Whatever you want to believe, brother. My mom, who's skinny, got the virus while being moved to a nursing rehabilitation home from her normal home. She supposedly recovered, yet now is at my sister's home in Michigan with hospice care. I'm sorry to hear that. Round 2 will be devastating. Well, let's see what happens. Paul Cottrell, medical researcher at Harvard, has open discussions on his channel every day about the bioengineering aspects. Interesting. Paul Cottrell, eh? Let's give him a little Google. Oh. Paul Cottrell. I'm going to put him in here. Because I'd like to get that person on and talk about it. Oh, he's on Twitter too, huh? Let's PhD, Harvard University. Well, we're following him now. Thank you. We see it's those kind of Burmese brigaders we love. The numbers are not accurate. They are including anyone who dies. I'm telling you, that is not true. Exactly. Listen, they're doing it when it's correct. You know, the idea, again, if I have a pre-existing heart condition and all of a sudden I get sick with flu-like symptoms, and then I'm in bed with a high fever and my body goes into sepsis and I have a heart attack, yeah, it should be COVID-19, not a heart attack. You catch what I'm throwing out there? Okay? Live, we do it live. Farmers need your help. I agree. My aunt and uncle had it. My mom had it. People still calling this a hoax are effing stupid. Thank you, Kimber. Hey, from Ottawa, also Communist Canada. Last American Vagabond has seen doing a lot of this. You know, I'm in contact with him constantly. Let's see. Have you seen Minnesota State Senator about CDC guidelines? Let's see, all that. I think I'm going to give it in, guys. So listen, one more time. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Hope you appreciated the AMA and the breakdown. Remember, please consider giving to the GoFundMe. I'm going to throw it in the chat room. Tony R., you just subscribed. Oh, bye-bye, Tony R. Tony, I'm sorry that you seem to live in a fantasy world. That's fine. That's fine. If you don't believe that there's a real virus out there, if you don't believe that, you know, again, my cousin tested positive for it, if you don't believe that I'm talking to 2 nurses, one in Stony Brook, one in Queens, and another medical professional who works in Brooklyn, that's fine. That's fine. Apparently, I'm very good at fan fiction, and I just love to make shit up for no reason. In your eyes. But I'm sorry that truths are uncomfortable. It's not the narrative that you want to hear. So again, I got the GoFundMe. If you aren't subscribed and you enjoyed the truth and you thought that this was something different, we do a lot more than just the Ask Me Anythings. And we're going to get down to other big issues like we used to. Over 1,000 videos on this channel, guys. Follow me on Twitter. Remember, I'm a documentary filmmaker. You can watch all of them for free on my playlist section, documentaries, Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. I am also on Rockfin, okay? And by the way, this one right here, I'm going to make it free tomorrow. So if you sign up tonight, and there's already free content on there, including the Whitney Webb interview, I just put that up for free with the audio corrected, so it's not annoying like it is on YouTube where I had some kind of technical difficulty issues. But Nicole Junkerman doing her best to censor this video I did about her and Jeffrey Epstein over the summer. So if you want to see that, go check it out over at Rockfin. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip.